How are we doing, guys and girls? Welcome to the Be More podcast. We are back with a brand new episode today and some exciting things planned for 2024. So for me, I'm recording this, guys, on the 30th of December, and an amazing time to talk about everyone's favorite topic this time of year, which is goal setting. Okay, guys, this isn't going to be your typical New Year's resolution type of podcast. It's going to be way more for those people who are looking to do big things in 2024, not those who are looking to maybe set some things that are something that you do for a couple of weeks and then you go back to your old habits before. That's not what this is going to be about. This is going to be about for those who want to do big things in 2024, those who want to be more, do more, have more in their life, and really take their life to the next level. This episode is going to really help you guys to do that, right? And this, guys, for me, goal setting is one of my favorite things. Like the power of the mind is absolutely crazy, and it's one of my favorite things to study, to talk about. Mindset for me is everything, and you can create any results you want in your life, guys, with a decision, with imagination, and with hard work and putting in, guys, solid work ethic. Okay, but it all starts with an idea. Everything that is in your life right now, where if you look around the room that you're in right now, or if you're in your car, you're driving to work, everything that you're seeing right now was once designed in someone's mind. The car next to you, someone pictured that car, designed it, built it, and now sells it, right? Everything it starts in the imagination, right? And this podcast is going to be all about exercising your imagination, building up a vision for 2024, and then breaking that down into a game plan with clearly defined daily objectives to enable you to move from where you are to your goal, okay, to where you want to be and to achieve the things that you want in 2024. Okay, guys, so I'm going to get stuck into this. And I'm going to tell you guys a little bit of a story around when I was first introduced to goal setting, okay, because this is not stuff that we get taught really in school, okay? I remember in school a little bit that we had some sessions around SMART goal setting, which was specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and a time frame or a type of goal, right? And I remember that being quite interesting for me. I was like, this is really cool. And I remember, guys, I was like, what goals can I set for myself? And subconsciously, I was already kind of doing it a little bit, as we all are through our life. Like we have the goals to tie up our laces and maybe whatever it is. And I remember I played a lot of football growing up, so I was very competitive and I always wanted to win. So one of my goals was to win or get better, right? And it wasn't until I started consciously setting goals. I was thinking about this morning. I was in the sauna. I was like, when did I start really first setting goals? And it was when I started going to the gym. Okay, so I was about 15, 16. I was just leaving school, and I had very low self-esteem, low self-confidence. I was quite skinny, quite small, and at that time, a lot of my friends were growing up faster than me. Okay, so they was going through puberty, they were growing bigger, they were getting stronger, whereas I was quite far behind. I was like, I need to do something about this, right? So I went to the gym. Walked in and I was like, what on earth do I do in this place? Like, there's machines everywhere, there's dumbbells, and I had no idea what to do. So I was starting from zero, but because my mindset and my goal was to put on some muscle, I had an idea of how I wanted to look, an image in my mind of like, this is how I would like to look, this is what I want to move towards. I was then willing to go and learn how to use the machines, how to do certain exercises, what maybe supplements to use, how maybe to improve what I was eating. But the mind starts looking when the goals appear. When the goals are set, the mind will start looking. And the mind is the most incredible tool. Okay, so you want to really start to leverage your mind, the tool that you have. Everyone has it, right? By setting clear goals that you want to go and achieve, right? So I remember when I set the goal, and the easiest example I can give to you guys that you probably all be able to relate with, especially if you've got a driving license, right? There's been a car at some point you've gone, I would love to get that car. And all of a sudden, whenever you go out in the car or whenever you go out, you see that car everywhere. That particular type of car was already there. But because you set it in your mind that you wanted it, your mind starts looking for it whenever you see it. And you go, that car's everywhere nowadays. The car was already everywhere, but it's now your mind starts looking, right? And the mind, it's called a reticular activating system. It's a part of your brain that will start to seek things that will help you to achieve your goal, right? And this is why it's so important to get your goals down on paper, to really write them down, to spend time thinking about what you want, okay? Because if you're always thinking about what you don't want and you're thinking about that life will happen, right? You're going to have challenges, each day is going to go by, you're going to have you're going to spend so much time being busy, because that's life, right? And what happens is your mind then just ends up becoming quite fuzzy. You don't have any clarity on actually what you want. Whereas if you spend time every day thinking about what you want, and the easiest way to do that is just to write your goals down every day, or to think about them in some way, shape or form. Everyone is different, right? But to think every day about what you want, to think every day about your goals, because then the mind will start looking for things. It will start seeking the right people that can help you, the right books that could help you, the right audios, the right podcast maybe that you're listening to right now. Maybe you start listening to this because you were thinking about, how do I set goals? And now you come across this show and you're like, okay, this could help me. This could give me maybe a framework or a blueprint to work from, and to enable me to really think about and set some clear goals. And then what does that look like? Okay, so this is basically what this is going to be about today on this podcast, is talking you through how I now operate. This is now 15 years later. I'm 31 now, guys. I was 16 when I was doing this in the gym. And that ended up taking me on a mad journey, by the way. I ended up finding a guy on YouTube. His name was Greg Plitt, and he became a massive inspiration for me. This guy was a big motivation. He taught me how to train pretty much. He taught me different types of training, all online, right? I learned it through the internet. This was before the days of Instagram, so I couldn't find reels and stuff to teach me. It was more about, I did this research on this guy and ended up wanting to be just like him. I wanted to have a body like him, I wanted to think like him, I wanted to build a business like his, because my mind started, that then one little goal has branched off into so many different goals, okay? But I want you guys to write this one down, is the mind will start looking when the goals are set. When the goals get bigger, by the way, the mind starts looking bigger, okay? And this has basically been my story, okay, guys? I finished school, and then went through college and university, and through that time I was just loving my own training. I became obsessed with it, okay, because my mind opened up into new hemispheres, new ways of thinking through the goals that I was setting in the gym, right? And it gave me a taste of goal and reward. Set a goal, go and achieve it. I love that feeling. And then basically what happened is I left university. I was like, maybe I could go and do this for a living. So I ended up working in a gym for 5 years, and thankfully I fell across a role where I was self-employed. So I fell into entrepreneurship without even really knowing that I was doing it, okay? And I had to go and build a business from scratch, a personal training business. I had no clients. I had to go and find them myself. I had to go and market myself. I had to go and bring people in, look after them, retain them, get referrals. These are all skills I had to learn in the journey. But because each year, if you like, I set new, bigger goals. This was a great time of year for me, every single year, to go, what do I want to go and achieve in 2015, 16, 17, 18, and now 2024 coming up? Because every year I've had the opportunity to evaluate, review the year and go, how do I want to go and plan the next year? What do I want to go and do? And then go and execute on those things, okay? So throughout my career, it was different goals at different times based on where I was at, based on my level of understanding, my awareness. And at the beginning, guys, my goals were so tiny. They were tiny, they weren't big at all. Whereas the goals that I'm writing down now for my life, if I looked at them maybe 15 years ago, I'd be like, Jack, there's no way you can achieve those things. But guys, you'll be surprised, and you can achieve way more over 10 years. That people underestimate what they can achieve in 1 year, okay? They overestimate what they can achieve in one, but massively underestimate what they can achieve in 10. And over the last decade, guys, my life has changed so much. But if you have a consistent game plan, if you have a goal that's broken down into daily objectives that moves you as a person forward, where you just get 1% better every single day, if you do that over a year, guys, that's 365% better over a space of a year. Over 10 years, guys, that's without the compound effect. It's thousands of percent better. It's a completely different you, okay? And I want you guys to be patient with yourself, but be accountable to the daily work that's required to move yourself forward, okay? And I'm going to get through all this in a second, but the first thing you guys need to do, and this is what I've spent maybe the last couple of weeks doing, is to clearly define the vision that you have for the year ahead. So if you've got a bit of paper, it would start with vision for 2024. What are the things that you'd love to go and achieve? Okay, what kind of results would you like to bring into your life maybe you could have some different categories. You could have health, you could have your career, you could have finances, you could have relationships, you could have spirituality, whatever the things that this is for you. This is not the goals that you think that your parents would like you to have, or to your friends or your partner would like you to go and achieve. This is for you, okay? Because when it's you, you're going to put way more into it because it's for you, and you can become obsessed about these things because it's about growing you, okay? So once you've got that vision of what you want to achieve, spend some time on this, by the way. Try and get as detailed as you can. Like just writing down help people, or just writing down get fitter. Guys, you need more detail, okay? And by the way, this happens through time. Goal setting is like a skill, okay? It's like going to the gym. When you first go to the gym, you're not going to be benching 100 kilos. It's not going to happen. You're going to have to start from not much, and then through time, you're going to get stronger. Okay, same with goal setting. It's an exercise. It's the imagination. This, by the way, is going to tire you out. You're going to burn a lot of calories from your brain working in this type of way because it's not used to it. It's used to being told what to do. Whereas you're going to tell your brain, you're going to take ownership. You're going to be the CEO. You're going to be in charge. You're going to take over and set clearly defined targets for you, for what you want to get from this year, rather than just being someone's bitch and have them tell you what to do all the time. Okay, so this is about you taking over. Okay, so vision for the year. Now, get that in as much detail as possible. Okay, so really define with targets what that looks like. Okay, so rather than put make more money, how much money is that? Give me a monthly income target that you really want to achieve. Rather than help more people, how many people do you want to help, right? Because we need specific targets. We need numbers to look at. We need something that you can't hit a target that you can't see. Okay, guys, if it's just get fitter, that target is like, it's way too vague. It needs to be clear, like how fast is that 5K run? How much is that bicep curl, or whatever it is? You need to be detailed on what it is that you really want to achieve, and there needs to be something that you can really track. Okay, like for example, drop body fat, great. You need more than that. You need a specific body fat percentage target that you want to hit. So it might be, I want to be at 8% body fat, or whatever. You guys need to get clear on what it is that you want. This is so important, okay, guys, because once you've got clarity on what it is that you really want, okay, rather than you just saying, I want to move house next year. Tell me what the house looks like. How many bedrooms is it? How many bathrooms is it? Is it a detached house? Is it semi-detached? Are you renting? Are you buying? What is it that you want? That has to be crystal clear clarity, okay? Then once you have that, you can then break that down, and this is what we call reverse engineering, okay? So you have what you want. This is the big vision for the year. Now you break that down, and this is what all great CEOs or anybody you've seen that's achieving fantastic results, top athletes, Premier League football players, they have this goal, and then they break it down into what do I need to do on a yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly, daily basis to ensure that I execute on the right things that can help me achieve the outcome that I'm looking for, okay? People don't just arrive in that big house. Ronaldo didn't just arrive being the footballer that he is. It came from, his vision was, I want to be the best. And then his game plan was built around, what does he need to go and do daily to allow that to happen? How does he train? How does he recover? What supplements, what foods is he eating? Like, his whole life is built around his goal, okay? Now, maybe you're not going to be as serious maybe as Ronaldo, because that's an elite human being, 0.00001%, right? But your goal might be to make 100 grand next year. Great. What does that look like? That looks like $8.5 grand a month. How are you going to break that down? Like, what is it that you're going to go and do to achieve that? How many sales is it? What is the type of person that you have to become to achieve them types of results? Then you create a daily game plan that grows you into that person, okay? That gives you that result. So it's about a vision, break it down, and then you've got your game plan, okay? Which is your strategy. What is it you're going to go and do to achieve that? So for example, if it is, you want to do a 5K run in 19 minutes, okay? But right now you're at 40 minutes or 35 minutes. Great. Now you create a strategy of how many times a week you're going to run and how much faster you're going to get through time, and plotting that progress and building a strategy around that, okay? This is how anyone achieves something that you see to be great. It starts with an imagination, it starts with an idea, it starts with the vision, the goal, okay? Then they break it down into, how do I make this something that I can call a training program towards that goal, okay? And for me, I learned this from my body. I learned this from the training plan that I used to follow or still do, my nutrition program, like how would I build a body? Now I'm doing it more with business. How do I build a business that has this much impact, that delivers this much in revenue, that creates these types of results, okay? It's so transferable. Fitness to business is very transferable. And this is just goal setting in general. It's transferable to anything that you want, okay? And then it comes down to your strategy. And then once you have your strategy, right, it's something that I learned from one of my mentors this year is, once you've got your strategy, your game plan, your vision, now you need to clearly define your standards. How do you show up as a person? Like what are things that you hold yourself to? What are the standards that you hold yourself accountable to? And for me, this was a huge breakthrough this year. Because it's about finding and living your life in alignment with the person that you want to become. Okay, so if you've got great goals around, let's say you want to get in 8% body fat, but you spend most of your identity is built around you. Every weekend you go on a bender and you eat all the rubbish and you do 10,000, like it's just, that isn't alignment, right? That's not aligned with getting to where you want to be. So once you have your goals and your strategy, it's about defining those standards that are going to help you to become that type of person and living a life of alignment. Okay, and this was a massive breakthrough that I had from one of my mentors this year. And I was like, I can see for sure that there's areas in my life where I'm not aligned with the person that I need to become to achieve the things that I want. So now I need to play the game with myself of, what do I need to say no to? And what do I need to say yes to? What relationships are good for me and will help serve me with my purpose and my goals and what I want to achieve? And what ones aren't so good, right? And it's about, then you've now got to use your strategy. And part of that is what people are going to help me, what books are going to help me, what masterminds will help me, who do I need to get around, what type of relationships do I need to have? Like you start to then, the mind will start to create this complete encompassing strategy to allow you to achieve the things that you want. And this is why I talk about the beginning, the detail, because if you've just got vague goals, this stuff will make no sense to you, okay? But trust me, when you have very clear objectives, you then become clear with what it takes. Okay, because you can't get clarity on what it takes until you have clarity on where it is that you're going and why you want to go there. Because when the why is strong, the how becomes super easy, guys. You'll lose so much time in the how and the mechanics if you don't have clarity on why you want to go to where you want to go to. Whereas if I'm going to keep using Cristiano Ronaldo in this podcast as an example, yeah, his reasons for why he wants to become who he wants to become are what's the difference between him and so many other football players that don't quite make that grade. His reasons are stronger. They're from whatever reason. I couldn't tell you why. It's the way his life maybe worked out, how he was brought up, whatever it is. There's something within that guy that takes him to levels that most people can't get to. Okay. Now this isn't about Ronaldo versus Messi, because I do believe they're completely different freaks. Ronaldo is the one who's done it all through what I'm talking about: goals, strategy, game plan. Messi, I believe, has been gifted with a whole level of, he's the gift, if you ask me. Like when it comes to who's better, this could be a whole different podcast. And probably I'm not the best person to give you an opinion on this, because I love the mind and the what I can see Ronaldo has done. And he's a big part of our brand as well. So for me, I go with Cristiano. But I appreciate them both so much. And I appreciate me being alive in the time where they're both playing at the same time. Like for me, it's priceless. And seeing them both play live has been a blessing. But guys, hopefully you've got some value from this, okay? Because these are the details that have really helped me to really move the needle. And I feel like I'm just getting started. Like the next 10 years for me are so exciting, because now my mind, I didn't think this way 10 years ago, guys. But because of daily objectives around personal development, my mind has grown like any muscle would grow when you use it daily. Okay, and when you can get clear on what you want, you can then get clear on what you need to do daily to develop you. Like the biggest investment you should ever make in your life is in you guys. It's not in cryptocurrency, it's not in the S&P 500, it's not in Nike or particular companies or Netflix growing or whatever, guys. The biggest investment you can make is in yourself, right? And by having these goals in my life, It's made space for me to see the value in daily personal development, okay? And this is just how I've lived my life now. Like, I've been for a workout this morning, I drove to the gym and back, and the whole time I'm doing personal development. Like, I love music just like anyone, but I'm not listening to music while I'm doing those things because my goals are too big to be listening to music whilst this is an hour of my day every day in the gym, yeah? Or nearly every day. If you compound an hour of listening to the right information, which for me is audiobooks or podcasts, to allow me to level up in my life, I'm working on my body and I'm working on my mind at the same time. That hour, guys, over the space of a year, is so much solid information that changes the way you think, guys. And that's the key. Your mind is like a program of so many different, like a computer system, and it's been programmed, okay, throughout your whole life with the parenting, the way you've been schooled, the way you work, your workplace, your family, that you're programmed to think the way you do, the news, the TV, whatever you watch, right? Whereas for me, I made the decision a few years ago to go, I want to reprogram my mind, to think how I want to think, to build a life the way I want to live it, right? Not have a life that has been clearly like carved out by other people's idea of how I should live my life. I want to choose that, okay? I want to choose that pathway. So what do I need to do daily? I need to do personal development. I need to change the way that I think, and I do that through listening to people who have the results that I want, or listening to people who have information that can be a massive unlock for me. And we all learn through experience, and the blessing of books is you don't have to learn through your own. You can learn through the experience of other people, right? So one of my books, my favorite books, is a book called Atomic Habits by James Clear. He's the ninja of habits, right? And this is where I got this habit from of when I work out, I listen to audiobooks. It's a habit stacking, which he taught me about, okay, guys? So you're one book, you're one idea, you're one bit of information away from totally changing your life. Maybe this podcast could be that for you. It could be the seed that could really be the difference, okay? So once you have your daily objectives, you've got clearly defined targets that you need to hit daily, okay? And this is so important because guess what, guys? You can't hit a target that you can't see. Imagine going to play football and there being no goals, or going to play darts and you've got your darts and there's no board to throw it at. Like this, the game wouldn't be worth playing, okay? People do this with their life though. They don't have a goal that's clearly defined that they're striving for, and then they wonder why they don't achieve it, okay? You have to be clear on what it is that you want and what you've got to go and do daily to close the gap, okay? And then it's about having the right accountability systems in place to ensure you get it done, because I believe this is the secret sauce. The accountability part is the secret sauce, because we all really kind of know what to do, right? We're not short on information in 2023, 2024, in the next few days. We're not short on information, right? This is the information age. What we're short on is getting it done. Doers, action takers, okay? So creating the right accountability systems and tracking systems to allow you to move forward is so important, right? And aligning yourself with people that can hold you accountable to these standards, to these objectives on a regular basis is going to be the difference for most people from saying that they want this in 2024 and achieving it. This is the key secret sauce, is the accountability system. So yes, have you clarity on your vision, your standards, what it looks like on daily objectives, and then who's going to hold you accountable to it? And by the way, the biggest person who should be holding you accountable to it is you. The person you look in the mirror every single day, that's who you should be accountable to. But you should also leverage other people and the right people. If you can get around the right masterminds, leadership groups, the right teams that can help you move forward, this is how people like, let's go back to Cristiano Ronaldo, he has the right people around him, the right support network to allow him to achieve the things that he wants. And that's been defined by his mind. He's clearly defined that and gone, who do I need to get around to achieve those things? Right? And this is what you have to go and do, guys. If your goals are big, you can't do them alone. Okay, you're gonna have to build the right team around you to go and help you do these things. And then the last thing is, something that I love to live by is plan, do, review. Okay, so you plan out this amazing thing that you're going to go and do. You go and get into action. You go and do the stuff that you planned out in your mind. And then on a weekly basis, on a Sunday, I will spend time in review, in reflection. And for me, this is for my year in 2024. I'm like, right, every Sunday morning, I'm going to go for a long run. And in that long run, I'm going to spend a period of that time where I'm in review state. where I'm just going to review the week, look through what's happened. I can check my metrics before I go, my data with the things that I'm tracking, and then I can spend that whole run in a reflective state going, this is what I feel like we're at. I'll get back and I'll write some things down. I might write some things down on my notes while I'm running on my phone. And then I'm going to review and then set a new sail with a new plan and an evolving game plan based on that review. If I need to make some changes, what does that look like? How do I change? What do I need to add in? What do I need to take away? What appointments do I need to put into my diary to allow this to happen, right? This is what it's about, guys. This isn't like a 2024, January the 1st, we set the flag and we go, this is going to be the plan. It's going to evolve, right? There's going to be learnings that we're going to have in the journey that we can use to adjust our sail a little bit, to keep us on track, right? And that's what the review part of plan, do, review is about. Okay, guys, then you go and do a plan again, then you do, then you review, then you plan, then you do, then you review. Over and over and over until you get to where you want to be, until you get to your North Star, until you get to the things that you really want to achieve. That's what this game is all about. So hopefully you guys have got some value from this. You felt the energy. You're going to go and grab your notepad and pen and put some things together. And you're going to go and build your game plan for 2024. And I want to know what you guys go and achieve. So if this is a valuable podcast to you, please do leave a review. Please do hit subscribe. And I'm going to be back. My game plan for the podcast is a weekly show. Okay, so there's going to be podcasts every single week this year on all sorts of topics. And I'm going to bring different people on too to give as much value as possible. So hopefully you guys got some value. A massive happy new year. And let's go and make 2024 great.